It's going to be another close call for parts of the Northeast. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. It is Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. This is what we are tracking next. One system sliding by, but another one that's going to develop and lift up toward the Northeast, watching the Atlantic region of Canada, and behind it, a southern snow is possible. We're going to track all of that and compare the models and what we're seeing long term. Matt and I are going to keep you posted on this over the next few days. We'll have to put out some additional updates as we do. If you're subscribed, you'll get those notifications first. Now, here's a quick snapshot of what we're going to cover in this video. This is a look at Sunday night. This is the next bigger system, right? A very close call. I'm not seeing any scenarios at this time bringing any significant snow back towards, say, New York. Hartford, we may be on the edge of it, but a little bit more so Boston back through the Cape and the Islands. And then, of course, heavier weather again through the Atlantic region of Canada. This is the American model. We'll compare the models going forward. And what is interesting with this one, as it kind of winds up in the southeast, it pulls down a secondary surge of colder weather. There's colder weather moving now toward Florida, but a secondary surge of that will work by the weekend and will start to work in. This will start to lift to the north, but anywhere from D.C. south all the way through Jacksonville, Florida, snow will be a potential on the backside of this. Even some accumulating snow in parts of North and South Carolina and even parts of Georgia. And you can see it here. That was the American model. The European model showing the same thing as we work our way into Sunday, right around Tallahassee. There could be some snow coming down over toward Jacksonville. Now, as we lift to the north, though, the north piece of this, there is a difference. And as we know, there have been so many big snows missing the Northeast. As we work our way from D.C. back toward New York, this system may give us some backside snow, but as we work right into Sunday night, the European model really has most of this offshore. You can see just getting scraped by some snow over toward the Cape and the islands, while the American model, which is typically not as reliable as the European model, the American model is showing a bit more snow spreading inland. And at this time, it's not that one model is right or wrong. There's a lot of uncertainty. We need to see how this develops, but a very interesting scenario from the southeast U.S. to potential Florida snow all the way up through New England. Now, even more of that westerly track bringing snow into parts of Boston on the edge of Hartford doesn't really bring a lot of that, or any of that for the most part, back toward Albany in New York. So we'll see how this evolves. It'll be dependent on the track of this. So let's go out in time here as we work our way. Now, this is that first shot of some rain. Once again, with that warmth around, watching that rain from Newfoundland swinging back toward New England on the backside of it, kind of wrapping around. Some snow showers, Vermont, New Hampshire, we'll see some of that back toward Maine, New Brunswick, northern side, seeing some of that snow. This is going out in time as we work our way into Friday now, and heavy rain potential back toward Newfoundland, with a little bit of that snow wrapping around. Now, here's what we start to see as we go forward. This here's by Saturday. Little wave of energy here. That's not the major player. This is coming out of the south. That's that southern snow. We may get scraped by it over toward Delmarva. So watching Salisbury over toward Rehoboth, chance of some snow right on the edge of New York. But for the most part, all of the models I'm watching have this more off toward the east. And we'll keep an eye on it. And again, we'll put out those updates. But if the American model's right, at least getting scraped by some snow, New Brunswick, Maine, back toward parts of Massachusetts, on the edge of New Hampshire, and then even over toward Rhode Island, Hartford on the edge, and then by Monday, this lifting up to the north. We've had so many misses, we know, over the last few years, so that's why we do this channel, to keep you posted on the model comparisons, but we've been doing this for decades. We'll let you know exactly what we're thinking as we get closer to this and kind of what we're going with to give you a good handle on what we're seeing. Now, to show you some of the output on this, these are the 7-day snow totals. This right here is a version of the European model, and you could still see not a whole lot. Look at Boston. Eventually, by the time this were to move in by Sunday night, the European model saying, hey, yeah, there could be an inch of snow in Boston, right? Not seeing signs of a big snow, but seeing maybe about an inch. Most of the action would be staying away or up to the north. Still watching the lake effect, keeping an eye on Buffalo and Syracuse for some additional snow. The American model, though, is painting into more of the blues as we work our way to Boston. That would say we could get a quick 2 to maybe 4 inches of some snow. That's the difference. Again, the European model about an inch, if that. The American American model showing about 4 inches as you get over toward Boston. Everything not showing a whole lot in New York and just getting brushed by some of that wraparound snow as we work our way to the south. As we lift to the north, so we get back toward, again, here's New York. We're watching over toward Montreal, keeping an eye on, here's Quebec right here to give you a handle on that. Watching out for some of the snow just kind of sweeping by right through here, northern sections. This here, 7-day snow totals. This is a version of the European model. In the European model showing higher snow totals. As we work our way back toward Newfoundland on the north side, you can see some of those totals topping about 14 inches of snow, which would be about 36 centimeters. So we've got both of the scales on the map to keep you covered. And as we take a look at what we've got with the American model, a similar scenario, some of the same areas, seeing some of that snow, watching over toward Toronto, lifting back toward the north as we go forward, but a little bit less for Newfoundland. You can see more of it is more to the north, not as much reds in here. So the American model for the Atlantic region of Canada, as these systems move in, have slightly lower snow totals as we work forward. Bigger picture, this is the spot just over toward the Carolinas. Look at that blue right in there. So we're talking about some of that over toward, what is that, 65, I believe, or 60 as you get over toward Roanoke. Let me know in the comments. Trying to think about that as you work your way toward Duck, Corolla, lifting up to the north toward Salisbury. There could be a brushing of some snow in there. Even parts of North Carolina, you swing back toward the Outer Banks, maybe an inch or two of some very unusual snow will be a possibility just on the backside of this. All the way down toward North Florida, there's a little bit of snow accumulation in there, just showing that hint of snow, as I mentioned, on Sunday in parts of Florida will be a potential. So as we go forward together as a weather community, we're going to be watching this system, what it means for the Northeast. Very close call. I'm not seeing anything huge trying to wrap into New York, as I mentioned. On the edge of things in Hartford, Boston, more of an interesting scenario as we go forward. So watching Sunday into Monday for that. On the other side of that, as we lift more to the north and to the east, heavy rain, heavy snow for parts of the Atlantic region of Canada. And then keep an eye on that southern snow, which is more likely for parts of Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina, even parts of Delmarva as we swing back toward Virginia, monitoring that. So lots to cover as we go forward. I'll be watching your comments as we go throughout the day. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe and being part of this weather community, sharing it with your friends and family. I hope you have a really good rest of your day.